Commando, Risa Who, and addiction. All this and more on today's Brilliant Observations. Do, 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 do. It's fine, I'll cut that shit out.
I'm so sorry. I just started humming along with you because I do it in my head and I love you. And sometimes the things in my head come out of my face.
That has been, that is a really good title for this podcast. Sometimes the things in my head come out of my face.
Hey, I'm coming in hot. Before you even get to any of your super great topics, I'm sure they're all really majestic. I got to start with something really vulnerable and weird because it alarmed me. And I need your input to work through it. Okay,
Begin.
So here's what happens. I walked into the bathroom already. Now I got you. Your rapt attention.
All in and slightly nervous. Go ahead.
She's riveted. So we have one of those bathrooms. It was my bathroom, the primary bathroom, right in the home.
Yeah.
Shared by husband and me. And if anybody else is in my bathroom, how about get out? That's our bathroom. You don't have any business going in there. I get that it's convenient to other areas of the house. It's mine. Stay out. It really should have just been the two of us. So I've isolated the perpetrators to two. And I can already tell you I am not one. So now the question is, did my husband do this? I walked into the bathroom, and there's a little commode vestibule. You know, it's like a little room that you go in, right? I walked in this morning to use the toilet, finding it as I often do, with the lid closed and all clean and in proper order. No smells, no deposits, nothing strange. Everything's fine. It's great. And then, what? What happened? What is that?
No.
Up on the wall.
No.
Behind the toilet.
Art.
At roughly nipple height when I'm standing. So far and away, flung,
knee
as
height.
if flung, monkey style, flung, on the wall, relaxed. It was a wad of toilet paper.
Wet.
But a wad big enough as if a fifth grader was trying to dislodge the loosened tiles from the ceiling in math class. Like it was a big wad of whap up against the wall. So my questions are many. I'll start with, what sort of wiping moment was going on with such a frenzy that paper scattered higgledy-piggledy against the wall as you were in there? Why would anyone take toilet paper and flung it against my wall? Why is it on the wall? How did it get behind you and above you, to the left of where you sit? No, it was to the right. So it had to be with your opposite hand over the shoulder boulder holder. So boom. What? Why? Where? I took a picture of it and I'm going to post it because I'm so confused as to what it is and how it is and why it is and how it is.
Was it wet paper, like in the wet wad?
I took a picture and exited. I did not investigate.
So
I
it
can
is
look at the
currently
photo right
still
now.
there. It is
Yes,
currently
ma'am. You pause for effect. I'm going to
left
look at the picture right now.
the wad against. No, I remember wetting toilet paper and throwing it against the ceiling straight up. So when somebody else walked in.
Oh, everybody can see it.
That's weird. What? It's not. Yeah, you don't know how to do the. Yeah, it's wet and stuck. Partially wet. Is that a trail down from it of the water and or feces that are attached to it?
No, the wall is pristine. That's just white wall. It's like a shadow. There's nothing there. No, there's no drag or trail behind it.
Okay, good.
No,
Yeah, it makes
that's
me
an
even more
optical.
curious.
No. That's just. It's just like. But who goes in? What the fuck is that? I live with regular people, not toilet paper flingers. Okay, I don't. Nobody went in there and had a moment, a wild time in the commode closet. Tell me what happened. Is this something that I should just get some gloves, remove, and move on with my life? Or is this one of those eternal mysteries that I need to, commune with the spirits to understand?
Have you discussed this with either of the two people who live in your house right now?
No. And I had a cavalcade of clowns up in here, which is also what concerns me. I had my eldest come back from college Friday night with his girlfriend. They stayed all the way through Sunday morning. Then I had the youngest child have multiple visits with his girlfriend throughout that time period. So she was in and out and in and out and in and out. Then we had the middle child come home with another one of these, we don't like the dining hall food, even though it's the greatest in the country club planet. So they all came home. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or so of them.
But
they
you've
came home
seen
for
the
dinner on
bathroom
Sunday night.
Since then, you've seen the bathroom.
They were here Sunday night. I walked in Monday. The biggest group of people were here Sunday
Oh.
night, and I walked in on Monday morning. And I will say something like this about that group: 2 girls, 1, 2, 3 guys that came over, the college crowd,
Okay.
right? One of the girls is very comfortable here, and she just wanders from room to room investigating.
Who raised her?
I don't know. She has a wonderful countenance. She is very chatty, but she's also real comfortable. And she, for example, my house is interesting. So every room has something in it that you don't think should be in there. So I get that people are like, what the fuck is that? And it's someone who might be here and has been invited guest here more than once, might take it upon themselves to do a little mini tour and just go and inspect something or look at a piece of art or whatever. So I kind of like that. I was even going to say I don't have a problem. It's stronger than that. I kind of like that. I want people to explore. But at one point, she walked into the dining room, went around, and it's an open, not an archway because it's a square, but it's an open, very, very large double door, very large, no doors on it. She walked in and went behind the wall. So she sort of went in and was hidden from view from the rest of us. So and there was nothing in that corner except I have a bunch of wine stacked up in that corner and a couple of pieces of art that I haven't hung up, right? So it's kind of, I'm sad to tell you, it's like a storage pile, but I guess it looks arty because the art is like stacked against the wall and leaning like you would have in a gallery, and then the wine is just stacked up cases and cases of wine. So and the cases themselves are interesting because they're wooden and they have little metal, like the cases are fancy. So it's sort of
yeah.
maybe it's like the people who sell that wine are very proud of themselves. So it was like some kind of a decorative bullshit. Anyway, she went into that corner and like disappeared to the point where I noticed, what the fuck is she doing in there? And then it was just probably a beat, 2 beats, 3 beats too long that she was in there. Then she came out, and then she just went back to what we were doing. So I have later invented a story where she went in there and like picked a giant boogie, or she was just using it as a private escape from the rest of us.
Put it in a small wad of toilet paper, went into your bathroom, and stuck it to the wall.
No, I hadn't connected the dots. And no, because she would have, if she had any sense, she would have gone to the trash can. You don't decide what clean surface can I affix this to. Like that's not what you do when you get a big tissue full of bio product. That's not what you do. Anyway,
I don't know what to do with that. Lizzo.
Anyway. Yeah, I don't know who threw their wad of wet. It's gross. It's gross. It's gross, right? It's gross.
I would take
toilet
a
paper on the wall?
towel. I would throw it. The same thing I would do with a bug. I would take a paper towel. I would get it off the wall. I would put it into the trash. And then I would do a lot of drugs to forget what just happened because I can't. You either have to burn the house down and start over. And I know your heart and soul.
I'm not that sanitary. I mean, I feel like it's
I think if
gross.
it's duty, you are. Yeah.
I don't feel like it's duty.
Yeah, it's a very white bathroom. I didn't see
I don't
duty.
understand. If anything, when I took that photo, knowing full well I was going to bring it here to you,
Yeah.
Tribunal, and then later to share with the world,
Yeah.
I was filled with such sadness and remorse because it is all white. There's no art in that room, and it's a downfall. There's no art in that area, in that space at all, on either side, on any side. The entire side is white. The whole thing.
What's better, your bathroom being all white, only white, nothing but white, or the potty art I have in my house?
Well, I just in my defense, that is the only bathroom that has no art in it.
All right, I'm going to break this
Even
down
my
for
closet, even my closet has art hanging in it.
I'm going to break this down for you easily. Boys don't spend that kind of time doing stuff like that in general. It's a girl thing. She's a wander thing. I mean, boys do it in groups. Were there boys in a group that went to the bathroom?
You think it was well, first of all, who would go into
You're nomad.
the bathroom?
You
the
have a
bathroom
nomad.
is through my room. You must walk into my room,
That's
into
not the
my
reason.
adjoining ensuite bathroom.
That's not the
and
reason.
At one point,
You
a
have-
lot of people were using the bathroom before they left.
You have boys and boys in that house. On the main floor, you also have a bathroom that has a trough in it.
The urinal. Everybody wanted to use the urinal because they're like, you got a urinal? So they all used
Correct.
it.
So whomever left you that wad was not excited by a urinal. And to me, that's your nomad who walked around your house checking things out, counting your bottles of wine, examining your art, going through your underwear drawer, stealing your little treasures in your your
she's
closet.
thief? Okay, now
Your
she's a
closet
thief.
drawers, all of the bits and bobs and bubbles that we discussed last week that
Check
are there.
the weed. Yeah. Okay, I'm all right. Here's the other thing that is possible.
Yeah.
Let's not forget.
She didn't do it.
Let's not forget the plausible possible. I could have perped myself. I could have gone in there, not paid attention to anything, acting like a crazy
That's possible.
I mean, of the two of us, do you think that my husband or myself is more like
You.
the
You.
inflatable traffic dancing piece of fabric out in front of the car dealership? Do you think that's more me or him?
It's
Okay.
definitely you.
So at some point, I grabbed a hold of, moistened, and then flung toilet paper in my own bathroom.
Have you been
Unawares.
have you been medicating to sleep at all?
No, I never do that.
Oh, okay. I don't know what
I
to tell you,
never do
Amy.
that.
There's a ghost, the same ghost that left a egg salad sandwich in the basement of my childhood home, left a wad of toilet paper stuck to your
How long was
Commode.
the egg salad in the basement?
I don't know. And I know it wasn't from anybody in our house because my mother would never let somebody wrap a sandwich for outside of house eating in tinfoil. I'm sorry, aluminum foil. We didn't do that. We used
Somebody wrap up an egg salad sandwich in tinfoil and leave it in your basement?
left it in my basement. And we were all
Wow.
like, whose egg salad Sammy is this? Like, we couldn't believe it. And that's from that moment on, I thought there was a man who lived in my basement and I wouldn't go down there again.
I would not. I agree.
Which is
and
a
I would also
shame.
question his dining habits.
Which is a shame because my great aunt worked for Burry, this cookie company, and she gave us cases of Thin Mints.
oh my God.
Cases, like 10 gross, like the ridiculous amount of Thin Mints, and we kept them all in the freezer in the basement, and I
You lead
couldn't
a
eat them
charmed
anymore.
life. You lead a charmed life.
So,
you lead a charmed life.
Aim, there's a speaking of Girl Scout cookies, an actual segue. There's a Girl Scout troop in St. Louis, Missouri,
Amen.
and they decided that this year, I don't know, have you looked around and seen all of the Girl Scouts at
Oh
your,
no! If there's Girl Scout information, I don't have it. Yes,
but
I'm
have
a
you seen
perfect blank
outside
slate?
your markets and all of, no. Okay.
I have noticed none of them. I wonder
yeah.
if it is regionally seasonal in the sense that it
Oh.
isn't happening here because
Yeah.
I have seen nary a one.
Really?
And normally, yes. And normally they got my fucking number because thank you, husband. God damn it. They roll up with that wagon and they bring the fucking boxes now. They don't, it's none of this order and fill out that fucking Scantron Scholastic Book Club
Right.
menu bullshit. Get a check. Like, you don't have to do any of that shit. They're like, I'll take your cash money cash. You can cash at me. Like, that's not true. But when they start out with, we're doing it. I'm going to get my money. And then you get your cookie. And guess what? Your cookie right here. Here we go.
And there are
I got
fewer-
crates. I got crates of cookies.
Fewer
Yeah.
in the box than you've ever gotten before, more
Yeah.
money than we've ever charged you.
Right.
And
right.
we
It's
know
a like heavily diversity-centric, diversity-forward box, all wrapped around 2 cookies, right? And it costs you $11. Yes.
And
Thank you, Girl Scout.
I hope you
That's
get your
all I
patch.
helped. Right.
Well,
yeah.
this one in St. Louis had decided this year that they didn't have the bandwidth to do the cookie sale this year. And instead, the girls made bracelets
What?
with the colors of the Palestinian flag and took beads that spelled out Palestine across the top of the bracelet. And
It's
they
really
sold,
specific.
they
Okay.
sold those supporting Palestine. They sold those bracelets for $5 each instead of the $5 box of 2 cookies.
Okay, but it wasn't like right Twix, left Twix. You get to pick Palestine, you get to pick Israel. It was we're all Palestine and no cookies.
Correct.
That is why.
So
Are they no, in the sense that okay, I'm asking why they took one particular side. If they took any side at all, which seems a little weird for that organization, are they
Correct.
aligned? Are they aligned in the same way that the Boy Scouts are aligned with like deep what are they called? Nazis, like white nationalist, all that kind of stuff. Super, super Christian, yip, yip, yap, yap. And then they've gotten into a lot of trouble, like them Catholics, of which I am one. Get in
Very
trouble
similar
with
issue.
with diddling the boys. They actually, it's like part of the deal.
Why am I laughing at that? What is wrong with me? Oh my God. You're like, diddling the boys. I'm like, what? That is not funny. I just lost it.
Oh, generations
What
of systemic pain. Come
What is
on.
wrong Wow.
Okay, but the point is, you can see some alignment.
Yes.
Right? You could see some alignment. I thought the Girl Scouts were like, but we love everybody. We're going to change the name of our cookies when we find out they're racially mean. We're going to do all the things. The only thing they're aligned with is commerce, right? With capitalism. They have a close kinship and affinity with capitalism. So it's odd to me. Do you think it was just that one particular troop of gals?
I
You
do.
don't think it was like,
The
here's
article,
what we're doing this season, ladies?
The article went on to say it was a smaller troop, and one of the families was Palestinian, and they.
Oh, okay. So they were
they-
rallying around their gal, their team. Okay,
So-
gotcha.
Well, you know who didn't? Gotcha. Girl Scouts of America. They're like, no, that is not acceptable. Cease and desist, or we will strip you of all of your badges. We don't need no stinking badges. All of your badges and all,
okay.
you are not. And it was a little shocking to them to have something they thought was innocent by choosing a side in the name of a club that absolutely wanted nothing to fucking do with this.
Super fucking weird. It's super fucking weird, right?
Yeah, it was a very small troop, and they have since disbanded. So,
Oh my gosh.
like, we feel really strongly about. Wait, what? No. Okay, I'm going home. Give me my ball. I'm going home.
wow.
Yeah, I
Who
don't.
would even come up with that? Well, it's like, and why would you think that the Girl Scouts would want your bracelet money? Like, what's next? Now we're going to sell homemade tablecloths that we stitched. Like, it's this a little bit, even when you think about it, it's like, we're not going to do cookies this year. Instead, we're selling carrots because we've decided that carrots are better. So we're going to sell carrots for Girl Scouts. Let's buy the carrots.
Is that like when
What?
they made the Cookie Monster the vegetable monster for a week,
Oh,
and because that's
Jesus.
not healthy, and we're like, fuck that.
Who did that? I fortunately have never experienced such a pestilence in my worldview.
Sesame Street.
No.
Yeah, they came out and
No.
they made him
No.
more health conscious.
Nope.
It might have been during the Obama era when Michelle was
No.
planting vegetables, and she
No,
might have.
I cannot. I'm gonna have an uprising right now, even though it's over and fixed. That's how bad that was.
It's
I gotta go back.
fixed.
I gotta go back in arrears just to state my vehement objection.
We got that guy right back to being hooked on cookies, and yet now you're upset and you're going to
Isn't
take
it okay?
action.
Isn't it okay for him to have joy in his life
I
and
think
to
so.
find it however he wants and to embrace his gluttony for our joy and benefit? Isn't that okay?
It's not like he's infecting other people with it. He prefers not to share also, so that's fine.
I think that everybody has a nom 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 moment, and it happens, and we have to acknowledge it. We have to acknowledge it. He's learned some self-control. He can go slow. He has. That's more important than eating vegetables, is learning self-control. Good job, Cookie Monster. Fuck you, Sesame Street.
I was always concerned that he crumbed more than he ate until I really figured out he
Oh.
was a puppet, and there is no hold for him to eat, really. It's just
Oh,
puppeting. Yeah.
I see. But
It's
were you
okay.
upset because he wasn't actually gaining maximum benefit, or did you think he was messy?
I thought he was wasting deliciousness, and I wanted to help him eat those cookies.
Oh,
I'm not above a crumb. I'm pretty crummy, I'll tell you.
Crumbs are people too.
So, Ames,
Ma'am.
lots on the docket for today. But you brought last week Risa Tisa to
I
the
did.
board, and we didn't
I
get to
did.
her. And then we had a dear listener come out and say, "Are you hitting this topic?" So, yes is the answer. We are hitting this topic, and Amy, take the lead.
Do you know about Risa Tisa, or was I the first to bring it into your eyes view?
I am a TikTok fan, so
A
I
heavy
am,
user. Okay, as we say,
I'm
a
a-
heavy user.
I'm an average user.
So here's how it works on TikTok. People post their own content, their own videos, others scroll through it. And like all other social media, you can engage in myriad ways. A woman out of Atlanta, Georgia, started posting on, she's been on for a while with a fair following, a heavy following, right? But nothing crazy. Just she had a lot of people following her. Okay. And in the span of 26 hours, she gained 2 million followers. Why, you might ask?
Why, Amy?
She was called, nay, provoked, to begin recording and posting long-form TikToks. So she was posting effectively podcast-length TikTok videos one after the other. She posted over 8 hours of TikToks, 40 minutes to 65 minutes each, all sitting in her car, talking straight to the camera, no effects, no nothing, no cuts, no weirdity. All she was doing is saying, who the fuck did I marry? Let me tell you about this cheating, lying, philandering, narcissistic, psychopathic, blah, 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 person who, oh my God, this was a Lifetime movie happened streaming live, real time. Now, here's how many of those videos I watched. How many do you think?
Well, she did 50 of them.
How many did you watch?
You want honesty?
I want an absolute guess if you don't know. I don't think you know how many you watched.
I pretty much watched maybe part of one and then a woman recap her story.
I watched 0. I have watched none. I don't even, because I don't want that kind of content.
Right.
The content centers on this woman being victimized, tricked, manipulated, hurt, abused, financially aggrieved,
Fleeced.
all the things that can happen to her, negative, leading to her divorce. And this is her looking back and saying, I just got to tell y'all what happened to me. Yappity yap, 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 yap. And I don't want the surprise of how bad is it. Oh, wait, now there's another one with a hatchet behind the door. Like, I just didn't want that. But the phenomenon of it was so shocking.
Phenomenon. Do, 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 do.
I still can't get over it. Okay, since then,
Yeah.
right? She gained all these followers. She gained all this other stuff. Then people want to talk. Then there's the phenomenon of how much money did she make? Is this all a con? Then we go through, right, did she do this? Is this whole thing a put-up job? Don't believe it. So then there's the counter backlash. Then we have her husband come on, the ex, Leon, or his name is it's not Leon, it's something worse. Legion. His name is Legion. That's his name, right? Yeah, because that sounds like somebody you're going to trust. So Legion get on, and she's lying. She cheated on me with Bertram in the kitchen, and I saw it. And he had like a blip of a video that was up for like 6 hours and then taken down. So then everybody's like, who do we believe? Do we believe Legion? It's like, blah, 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 blah. So there's a mini controversy about that. Then Risa Tisa come back on and want to say, okay, everybody think I made all this money. That's all a lie. Let me tell you how much money I really made. She broke down all that other stuff. And then people are saying, where's her Lifetime deal? Where's her Spotify deal? I would super watch this. Let's call him. Let's get it. So the internet went insane, changing this woman's life in all the directions. And here's my sort of favorite part about it. I heard multiple content creators, which is a highfalutin way of saying people wasting their time posting shit on TikTok, right?
Regularly.
Otherwise known as a not authority. Get on there telling me she made upwards of $80,000 in that one day, because you can track based on views and how much TikTok will pay you, right? Just for seeing the videos.
Yes.
And the length of time. Then there's all these people saying it's a TikTok conspiracy. They want us to post long form video, and they used her as an example, and that's why they pushed it. And yeah, blah, 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 blah. So she comes in and says, okay, I was so excited to finally have the opportunity to be able to do lives or do something. They come with thresholds of viewers. Well, she didn't know how the shit worked because it happened so quick that the second she got involved in the content creators thing where she would start earning money, because she wasn't in it, got enough followers that TikTok put her in it.
They noticed her, right?
She didn't know she was in it. So midstream of her rise, then she starts earning money. Then TikTok banned her immediately and pulled her out of it as she continued to rise. So she made like $18, and she's banned for 30 days from the Creator Fund. while she having her highest and best. Because you're not allowed to go live in a car in the driver's seat. Like
Oh, yeah,
something
yeah.
like
Okay. Yeah, because
like
if
you're not allowed to do that.
driving, it's a
So
safety
they
thing.
cock
Okay.
block her content. So she's like, so I did all this stuff, and it's nice that people all maybe tell me, yeah, get away from him. But here's how much money I made. Nothing. So, and she's laughing on the thing, like, yeah, I didn't make for shit. Here's how much I made. Nothing.
So part of what she can reap in this, and that's sad, and that's the way TikTok works, and they shadow ban you from certain things, and they do all this.
TikTok is sad, and that's the way it works.
That's the way it works with them. But for her, specifically for her, BMW will contact her and give her a car because they'll get some riz from her doing another long form something.
I am by no means, you've heard me talk before, so I don't have to explain to you that I am an expert on nothing. You know it from the sounds that come out of my face. I will tell you this. She already has a plan, either of her own concoction or other people telling
Good.
her that all she's going to do is wait out her 30 days and she's going to repost all those fucking videos as a content creator. And so it's just do it again, because if it worked one time, it'll work a second time. So God bless and Godspeed. So that's the thing about recent teaser. I would love to hear your thoughts, but I'm also fixated now on Michael. Do you follow Michael at all? I am a big Michael fan. Do you, Michael the librarian?
Oh,
Do
yes,
you
of
not-
course. I love Michael. You had to be more specific. There are so
I'm
many
sorry.
people.
He's no longer, he's changed his name from Michael the librarian to just Michael.
Yeah, he is light and love and joy. He is an all new reading rainbow, and let everybody enjoy their space. There's room for. He's delight. I'm sure somebody will do something horrible and soon. Because,
It's already happened if you
Oh,
don't know.
No.
Somebody posted that they saw darkness in him, and that gained enough traction that he commented on it. And then within a week, he said, as of March 1st, I am no longer going to be with the library because I'm going to focus on my mental health. And I love the library, and I'm never going to
they
stop
took
feeling
him
safe.
down.
And
Oh,
I'm just not going
God.
to do it. And then so many people came out and said, I'm coming after whoever came after my Michael
Good.
because
I mean,
fuck
don't.
you,
but
and he needs to keep working. And at PBS, why aren't you need to give him Reading
Yes.
Rainbow? PBS. And two things have happened since then. Michael came out and said, let's not spread hate in my name. Okay.
I love him more now.
I work at a library, and a library is a safe place, and it exists for people exactly. Michael's, if you don't know about Michael, he embraces quirkiness. He has a huge unkempt afro. It is so big that it can't be in the same shot with him. Like it just exceeds, it's like a halo of sunshine around him. He is so upbeat,
He full
so
picks
goofy.
it out. I love that.
He is a child in adult human form, and he is just a delight. He wants to help everybody, even the people who are so angry and raw and wrong that they would hurt him trying to get help. He still wants to help them. And that's what he did. He's like, I am used to people coming into the library on their worst days, and they treat librarians really poorly. And you know what? We need to make this a safe space for everybody, and I can take it. I don't love that people are saying negative things because I know that they're wrong, but at the same time, people say a lot of things about me, and I just keep moving. So let's not spread the hate. Let's keep loving the library. Let's keep loving me. Let's keep loving you. Books are great. Get a library card, blah, 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 blah. So he came out and said that, and in the meantime, PBS contacted him because so many
Yay!
people contacted PBS.
Yay!
So he is now the social media ambassador for reading for PBS.
Oh my God, I love that so much. He's such a delight. I'm so happy that
So
that
you will
worked
be
out.
seeing more of Michael.
What a
for
love. That's
sure.
so great. I'm so happy for him. Hey, Michael,
Yes.
come on our show.
We love you.
We
Let's
love
do
you.
it.
We would love
I
to
got
hear.
a library card, and I did it before you, but I'll get another one just in case.
When was the last time you went to the library?
11 years. 11 years. 11 years.
Seriously?
No, I mean, if you want to count when I go to other cities, I will visit their libraries because they're places of beauty, but I don't go in there and actually use it as a library. I treat it more like an art museum just because I love it. Went to libraries in Prague. But I'm just trying to say, I don't use the library anymore. We used to use it for the kids, and it became a challenge because they would go in and I don't want to say abuse it, but they would go in and load up from like their knee joint to their neck with books and carry it up to the top because they had these aspirations. They couldn't get enough. We would always take out the maximum number. They would read like 2 pages, lose interest. I would forget to take them back on time. Like just all of it. It's just, we weren't good library patrons. So instead I go to bookstores and I go to independent bookstores and I treat them like a library and we just buy the fucking books. You can see how many books are. I have books in every room, everywhere, all the time. Stacks and stacks. So many stacks of books. I found stacks of books in the garage this very weekend as I was thinning the garage. But when's the last time you went to the library? Library's a magic place. They have everything for free. They have audiobooks for free. They have DVD movies for free. They have that you can take out records. If you can think about something, they have some libraries have fucking tools, power tools that you can use with a free library card. The library card is a magic place. Go there. Go there, go there, go there, go there. They're just great.
I think it's been about 8 years, and the last time I went there, it was for silence, right? And there was no silence
never think
to
of
be
it.
found.
I never think of it as silence. And Michael is one that doesn't actually advocate
He
for
doesn't
silence in the
require
library.
silence.
Yeah.
He finds the joy in the kid running circles around.
I'll say this.
Say it.
It's probably been about 6 years if I remember correctly, because I didn't go to the library, but I used it. I was doing some literacy tutoring. I was teaching a woman to read. And so we would meet at the library near her house, and they have rooms that you can use for free, large and small, study rooms, and then actual just like conference style rooms that are there for the community. And we would always go take a pick of our room, and we could go in and have a private classroom learning moment. So another reason that libraries don't have to be silent everywhere, because they have silent spaces. They have sacred silent spaces. This ain't Texas. Woo! Libraries are magic places.
And that's what Michael brings out in you, right? He is just light and love and a delight.
First of all, second of all, thirdly, and also, let me tell you this.
My next issue is,
we have an issue.
It's
Okay,
kind of about addiction. And it's a
Okay.
very heavy issue, but I'm not making it heavy because I understand what addiction is. In high school, I was out for a day, and that was the day health class just gave everybody a drug, and they had to do a report on their drug. And the only drug that was left when I was absent that I was assigned was caffeine. And I thought,
That barely counts.
I can't get me some heroin, or I
That's
can't get me some.
stupid.
Yeah. I wanted Molly so I could talk about, so no, that's not what I got. I got caffeine. And if you look around, the addictions that people aren't really talking about are the ones that I wrote about, which are like caffeine. Oh, God, sit down. Sugar. Or as you say down there in the South,
Sugar.
there it is. I got the sugar. Right. And I just want to throw shopping on there. I know sex is an addiction. There are lots of self-help programs. There are lots of 12-step programs. There are lots of places to go. And if this is something with which you struggle, dear listener, please find help. And if you cannot find help, write us at brilliantobservations@gmail.com, and I will hook you up with the appropriate place. Unless it's shopping, and then I will enable you.
Una pregunta, signorina.
Yes, babe.
What the fuck? This is a problem? You're talking about shopping addiction? Like we got a serious, you said I got a really hard one. It's an addiction. It's called shopping addiction.
Well, it's not my addiction, but
Did you buy something?
I have a friend who just cannot stop shopping. And I happen to know that she doesn't have a salary anymore, but that doesn't stop her from going on Amazon. So I'm assuming.
Eventually it will. I'm here to tell you, there's an end to this addiction, and it's called the bank. Because eventually they're going to realize Amazon going to get wise. And it's going to say, hey, you know how we said, give me the cheeseburger today and I'll pay you on Tuesday?
It was, I'll gladly
It's
pay
Wednesday.
you Tuesday.
Yes. It's Wednesday.
Well,
Uh-oh.
that dopamine rush of having that Amazon truck show up at your house, or knowing it's coming, or boxes. I would like a quick shopping program intervention.
I have to get real raw with you.
Raw.
So I'm going to
Raw dog.
apologize, and then I'm going to cut you open like that gutted fish with maggots from last week. Okay.
Which,
2
by
weeks.
the way, our local patch, I thought they were promoting our podcast because they said Charlotte the Stingray, maggots fall out of a top thing, and I open I'm like, oh my God, they're promoting my pot. No,
We are topical. We're fucking musical. We're musical the podcastical. Okay. So here's how it goes.
Go ahead.
Is this friend, by chance, the same friend who was staring down
Yes.
the end of the hourglass?
Yes.
Right? She is, with those grains of sands, surfing into there's very little left.
Yes.
Here's what I would encourage you to do on her behalf.
Please advice. Yes. I've already cut up half of her credit cards. What else
Wrong.
you got?
Wrong.
Oh, fuck.
Take out more. Take out as many as possible and get as high a credit limit as possible and have her begin buying things of value. Because when she is no longer here to pay her bills, her estate will also not pay her bills. Take the trip to Hawaii on the credit card. Stay at the Ritz and then default on that credit card. That's what people do. I was looking for that con 6 episodes ago because I would like to do it. Find you a consumer protection agency about what happens, or Google what happens to credit card debt after a loved one passes. And the answer is, in many cases, it goes unpaid. Surprise! That's your gift with Exit. Take it.
Rusty, I'm so sorry. This is not a financial advice show. This is
Yes,
not
it is. Defraud the credit cards.
Oh my
Defraud them.
God.
Yes. And if you could layer on insurance fraud, get that shit going too. At a certain point, this is a karmic benefit, right? That hurts one or two particular people that deserve the hurt because they are in the trillions with a T in terms of the revenue that they have. And I'm talking, of course, about the financial institutions. They can handle it. They've heard enough of us that they're going to take a little bit on the chin back. We get to throw some punches before we all get ultimately knocked down.
It doesn't go and then get up again. It doesn't go to the person who inherits their stuff. It doesn't go to that estate, and they have to pay that off.
I wish that I was not so inept at fraud so that I could describe this to you in detail, because I wish to do it for myself and others to our benefit. But I have heard it done, and I know that it is a thing, and you have enough financial people in your life. And there are enough people, frankly, on TikTok, if you want to start going onto the dark side of financial, what you say now, TikTok? Oh, yeah.
So
if you want to start looking up how to.
If I start a series like Risa did, where I just show up in the dark and I say, hey, TikTok, how do I
don't think no. Here's what you are legitimately going to do. And if you don't do it, I will do it. Okay? I will do it on our channel if you want to, if you're not afraid of that. I will go on the channel and I will say, okay, if you, TikTok viewer, if you had 6 months to live, what would you do with a credit card? What would you do with your time? What would you do in this circumstance? What would you do with your health care? What would you do with your life insurance? What would you do with your investments? What would you do with your freezer storage? What would you do with your car loan?
Freezer storage. Nobody could eat that kind of food in the 6 months.
What would you do? Crowdsource it, and good talk and bad talk are going to come out in droves and tell you, if I was doing that here, they would say, what's one thing that TikTok really hyped but finally got it right? Like, it's one of those questions. What's your favorite hot dog yell?
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be a challenge. So you say, what's your favorite hack for, whoops, I got cancer. Now I need all the credit card karma to come my way. What do? Right? I'm going to Disneyland. On you, Capital One. How are they going to make it happen? Right? People have done it and know it, and they're going to tell you. So take that information. Right now, all of her joy, all of her impact, all of her legacy, all of her time with you is compressed. So don't waste your time trying to figure out how to reinvent the wheel yourself. Wheels are everywhere. Source the wheels. Get the information from somebody else so that the time you're spending with her works to everyone's maximum advantage. You got to pack that joy from moment to moment to moment. And I say grab it and do it. I have absolutely no remorse. I know that this is illegal. I know that this is fraudulent. I know it.
I know
and
the police
say,
are at my
do
door
it.
knocking right now.
I endorse it. Go break the law. If there's any, you break it. Break the law.
Hey,
break it.
Do that TikTok for me.
I will do it. I will do it. I will do many of them. I will put it out there, and I will put it out, and we will see the flood, the glut of information that flows our way.
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know what people think and say, because, I mean.
Because how are we supposed to know how to break the law? We don't know. There are actual practicing criminals in jail who will tell us how to do it. And you know what? I bet you they'll tell us how to do it and say, if I had to do it over again, here's how I do it and not get in jail. Or the other people are the ones who are the predatory lenders who know how they're going to break and crush the souls and will of all the people on the wrong side. So they say, here's what she should have done, because I can't get you if you do X. Like that girl who gets on there and talks with that crazy Oklahoma accent about how to buy a car. Do you ever find her?
No.
She tell you about buying a car?
I don't want her either.
If ever you buy a car, don't tell the dealer how much you got to sell. Why are you going to give them that information? Like somebody's going to get on there and tell you, here's what you shouldn't tell me because I'm the person on the other end of the phone. And I'm just waiting for you to say
I need that advice. So please publish that
I will get it.
so I can.
I will get it. I will get it.
I want to tell you, a lot of the crazy that just came out of your mouth, I let pass me by. But I want to tell you the part that I am going to grab and hold on to and ride like a fucking steel pony. Is that a thing?
Yes, now it is, yes.
The thing I'm holding on to for
Very
dear
cold.
life is that joy. Because
That's
I
right.
feel like
That's
what
right.
I'm doing now is going over and cleaning and doing laundry and throwing away tissues and do it like it's
That
just
dirty shit will be there whenever somebody wants to get to it. And it doesn't have to be you, and it certainly doesn't have to be now.
yeah, I like the joy part because we're not friends
it.
because we didn't only share joy together because we did and it was great. So I think we should bring more of that back. Last week, my friend, you
Yes.
mentioned that you had this crazy massage and this faux ayahuasca experience. And you mentioned as you walked there to do it, you were commando.
Yeah.
How has going commando changed from different situational? Like, I think going commando, like, oh, I'm going out tonight. I don't want panty lines on my leather pants. I'm going to, and I go commando strategically for an outfit or three. I debate where I am if I'm commando for a massage, the location. But I saw a TikTok of a girl who got pulled over coming home from somewhere and she wasn't wearing underwear. And she was also drunk. So she might have been wearing underwear when the night started. I don't know. She could be a D Sharp, a friend of ours.
There's a long story there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as I'm watching the TikTok, she's like, are you at least going to 3 times throughout the course of the 3 minutes? She mentioned she was not wearing undergarments. And can she at least go home to put on underwear? And the guy was like, no. She said, well, I'm not going to let you handcuff me. He handcuffs her until you get me underwear handcuffed. I'm not going to let you put me in your car, in the car with handcuffs, no underwear. I am not. Could you get me some fucking underpants? Like, when did it go from risque, fun, cute to I'm a felon who just spit in a
Right.
cop's face and I have no underwear on?
Oh, my God.
It was a good TikTok. I liked it. I'm like, is there a part 2 to this? I got excited.
Wow. Just wow. There's a lot there. I don't go commando ever.
She was wearing a dress, by the way.
I am only ever commando at one point in my life. Ever. And that is in between towel and bathrobe. If there's a towel and a bathrobe, because I am, if towel, body, bathrobe, that's it. There's never, every other time has got a garment on me. And I mean, every time, this is for the entire span of my human history.
So you would say your underpants are like a top sheet.
Yes, ma'am. Well, of course they are. Always available and clean. Yes. A fucking man.
I have been with you in the last month, and your underpants most of the time were not clean because all we did was laugh till we pissed ourselves.
Well, they start
Okay,
clean.
fair.
I also, we could get into this too. I went away for 5 days.
Yeah.
I brought 19 pairs of underwear.
Of course. Yes.
And it's not, that's probably more than one needs.
No.
The other thing I do,
Indoors.
I never had underwear around me. And now I have realized the joy, part of my secret sauce of keeping the underwear free of secret sauce
Yes.
is that I change them frequently. And that's a new thing. Ever since I started this whole past year,
The
this
secret
last
sauce
year,
of not sitting in your own secret sauce.
because before I never really had continence issues, right? And it's not that I have continence. I can hold my own.
I have
literally.
continence. Amy Schumer has a hilarious joke where she says, "Oh, come on, girls. I'd love to just take off my panties and not have it look like I blew my nose in them during the day."
Oh,
And
my
I was like,
God.
"Ah!"
Here's the thing,
Yuck.
right? I can hold on to my Tinkerton. I can. I do. However, I've also learned that there's strategies where you don't have to think about it or work hard if you just manage it differently by going to the bathroom frequently, keeping check on your underwear, and paying attention to yourself, which I don't usually. All
Check
three of those
minus.
things were
No.
those were all learning things for me. So every couple of hours when I'm walking around, I'll be like, let's check in with our underpants. And you think for a second, how my underpants doing? Good, great. How are they doing? Is it a little sweaty? Have I maybe laughed
Is it
just a little
time?
bit?
Is it time?
Did I have a sneeze? Am I going somewhere important? Like, what's happening? Did I just get out of the pool? Like, a lot of these things. So I have gotten into a frequency exchange program where they're on and off all the time.
Like the
right?
library. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
You get 4 books a day.
So I've also noticed that it has elevated my mood significantly. I feel better.
Is that right?
Yes, it's the kind of thing where I was listening to the Mel Robbins podcast. Shout out to Mel and Robbins and the podcast. I love all three of them. They're great. And she had this woman on there who she's had on before. Really, really uplifting. Her most recent episode is about like getting confidence or something, which is a stupid title for it because it's not really about that. Anyway, this woman was talking about, and I'm referencing the wrong show, but meaning the wrong episode. It was the one before. She had that woman, How to Keep House While Drowning. Have you heard this book title?
No.
It's an ADHD woman's guide to navigating life. And the title is How to Keep House While Drowning. And it basically says things like I was telling you a couple of episodes ago, you write the rules. And one of her strategies is, why are you folding your clothes? If folding clothes is making you insane, think about it. How many clothes need to be folded? Do you need to fold underwear? Do you need to fold towels?
What's my
It's a
choice? Hanging it up?
Leave it in a basket. Why do you have to fucking fold it? It's clean. Pick it out of the basket.
Wrinkles?
Carry the basket. Yes. So she's all about, let's figure out if the rules themselves are part of your problem. She goes deeper than that. But one of the things that she said is about brushing teeth, right? That it has become a phenomenon where people don't brush their teeth anymore and will go days without brushing their teeth. I know you find this shocking, but I don't.
Oh my God.
And
What do you mean you don't? What?
I don't brush my teeth
And you
with any kind of
Talk to
It has-
people and you.
where are you talking to people? It's a thing with people with ADHD, but also it has
Oh, yeah, I guess
become
that's true.
it has become significant. It has become prevalent largely because of COVID, and routine was completely disrupted.
Right.
So something that was an automatic part of a routine, the routine is gone. So now where does it fit in? So it gets forgotten or lost. And then the other thing was societal pressure. I'm going to see someone and be in close proximity to them. That was gone for a year and a half, right? So I'm not saying that people just stop brushing their teeth. I'm saying that those two disruptions caused major pattern change. And she comes back to, in that case, unlike the towels,
Yeah.
she says, you deserve clean teeth. You deserve clean teeth. You deserve clean clothes. You deserve a clean washed face. You deserve clean underwear. So at a certain point, you have to come up with a strategy where you always have clean underwear available, where you brush your teeth once a day is all she's going for, right? So I just, little did I know, I have incorporated this idea of I do deserve clean underwear. And I don't have to work that hard to get them if I change them, right? Because when I start laughing so hard that I pee a little bit in my underwear, then I would think, man, and I'm not going home for another 6 hours unless I got a spare pair of drawers in my underpants pocket. And then I can just throw away these dirty ones and be ready to go.
You know, while packing for my trip to Australia, I have a gallon Ziploc bag that has 2 pairs of mine and 2 pairs of my husband's
I know you've always said the spare pair
underpants now.
wear, and
I've had them in my trunk for years raising kids, and now I'm leaving for Australia, and I am packing
I
spare
never
pair.
had that shit. I never had that shit.
You
When my
have
kids
to.
had diapers, no, I never had any of that shit ever. And I was like, why? Now if I think, why did I not? Why? Why?
Well,
I
you
shoulda
also
had that.
don't fill your tank until it's almost too late. So you think that way. That's the way your brain works. Mine,
I have become
fears-
such a fundamentally every single cellular change person since 2020. I was actually talking to my youngest child last night at the end of the party. We were sitting there avoiding cleaning the kitchen and avoiding doing our last bit of chores before going to bed. We're talking about all kinds of things, and he said something really sad but also really validating. Talking about 2020 and all the changes in our life and all the changes in me and our household and everything. And he said, yeah, I mean, I got to tell you, I don't really remember anything before 2020.
my daughter just said that at dinner last night. She said,
I don't remember anything. I'm telling you, there was like 2020 and my life. I clock my life like since 2020 to now. I don't remember anything about middle school. And he goes, and it's kind of cool because middle school sucked and I hated it. But at the same time, like, I don't even remember it. I couldn't tell you anything about it. It was 2020, and then that's it. That's the only thing I remember. It's as far back as I can go.
that is fucking crazy. It will be studied as a phenomenon in the future. However, it's a real thing. She really said to me, it came up because I went to visit my kid in Delaware last night. We took her to dinner and just a quick popover, which is what we promised we would never do. And she started talking about the kids in her dorm and their plans for spring break, and they're going to go to Disney. And she's like, and I've never been to Disney. And we both looked at her like, you fucking idiot. You have not only been to Disney, you get used to give us shit about, oh, well, I didn't know, and the Disney this and Disney that. And she's like, I have zero recollection of this trip on which you took me. I said, remember going on the Mummy at Universal with your grandfather, or down the Flume and getting drowned and cursing out your father? Nope. These are stories you've told me, but I don't remember them.
That's crazy.
Isn't that nuts? But your youngest has it. I'm curious about your middle also. But to reinvent from 2020 on. So you're 4. What are you, one of those leap year babies who, by the way, if you know
Happy.
somebody who is February 29th, this year, for the first time in 4 years, gets a birthday. What are you, 12 now? Maybe?
I couldn't believe it when he said it. And he kind of couldn't believe it either. It was the sort of thing where he's like, yeah, that's how it is. I wish it maybe wasn't, but that's how it is. So, time. Ain't she fucking crazy?
So you want to talk about how Geese tried to do a mass suicide?
No, my God. This is so upsetting. I've totally
Uh-oh.
forgot this was on the board. I didn't look at it before we came in because I was so fixated on the fucking hot toilet paper. Oh, my God. This is really gross and sad and upsetting and really problematic. It's troublematic. Okay?
I would open up a text chain right now, and I would put everybody who was at your house yesterday, and then I would say, who the fuck did this?
Here's what's
And
going
now
down.
Go ahead.
Here's what's going down. Geese are a big part of my life. I don't know what happens in other
Things Melissa would never say. Things.
I don't know what happens in other states. I don't know if it's just a North Kakalaki thing. I don't know if it's just a Delaware thing. Geese are always around all the time. I'm on a migratory path of geese. Maybe the rest of the world doesn't feel this way. I kind of have always had it, and I love it. So I have an affinity for the geese. I think they're great. I love hearing them. The change of season is marked by their migration, always. And they fly in real low, and they fly real close to me, and they seem to always have like a place near my body or my home where they're a part of what I'm doing. They're always around.
So
I worked at an ad agency where it was covered with geese all the time, and it was really problematic. And we had one woman who worked there who tried to run over a goose with her car because she was so sick of them pooping
Why would she
everywhere.
do that? Oh, Geese's pieces
she's
are a problem.
She's a giant Well, they're everywhere. So there's goose poop everywhere. That comes with the geese. What do you expect?
We call them
They have to poop.
Geese's pieces. Get it right.
So they were everywhere. So anyway, that was a big problem that persisted when I worked there. So anyway, so geese are troublesome at airports. They fuck up the planes, right? And they fuck up the runway.
And Fabio's
So-
face when he was on a roller coaster flew right
So
into him.
geese abatement is a thing.
Okay.
Okay. Here's what I didn't know. At my child's school, the day school where they go, where one now goes. The others have been, all three went, one left. Okay, one remains. They have a giant pond that they use for, learning lab, and they build boats and put boats on the pond, and they do fishing things, and they catch frogs, and so the pond is incorporated into the learning. It's also part of the campus. Geese are there, I think probably because of the pond, because of the fields. Geese come around a lot, right? I didn't realize that the geese have stopped coming around because the school has gotten aggressive in getting rid of the geese. And I am here to tell you that they turned it into a learning opportunity, which I find so toxic and scary. I don't even like saying it out loud. I would tell you that I'm misinformed, but this came from the mouth of my youngest child, who is academically the rock star of our family, highest performance, right? Always. I happened to be saying around the college kids, they were asking him how he did in school, and comparing grades and this and that and the other. He very shyly just kind of admitted his grades, and then it came out he's never not had an A. He's only ever scored an A ever. For the history of every grade he's ever been given, it's always been an A, and the only question is how high is the A? And they were like, really? We said yes. Okay. So this kid fucking gets it and knows. And in his sports medicine class, they went into great detail about how I don't remember the right word, they electrocuted the goose eggs. They went and there were geese nests all around the campus, and they didn't disrupt the nests. They went and took a zapper to each egg to kill the unborn goose in its egg, and then the mama goose was unaware and sat on that dead baby egg for a year, because they sit on the eggs until the eggs hatch.
Oh my God, that's the worst shit I've ever heard.
And the only reason they did this dastardly crazy shit is because geese imprint, and where you are born is where you will return forever. You can never be changed. So the geese, were they to be born there, they would never stop coming to the school. There would be no way to stop them. So they killed them, and instead of just chasing off the mothers, they tricked the mothers into unpaid, horrific labor. It was horrible. It was horrible. And they explained it to my kid. So they didn't even do it in the dark. They didn't do this dastardly, horrible, death-eating business where someone walked around at night with a scythe saying, I will kill the baby geese. They taught the children how and why they were doing this. And the whole thing was so sickening, I had to stop asking questions because I kind of didn't believe it. And the only reason I even asked a question is because there was a weird mannequin of a dog on the track when I picked him up. And I said, what? I said, that ain't a real dog, right? It was too far away for me to be able to tell. And he said, no, Mom. They have a statue of a coyote now because we get coyotes that come. So the coyote is there to scare off the geese, and the fake coyote is there to scare off the real coyotes. Because wildlife ain't welcome on my posh fucking campus.
It's happening at that school.
Well, I told you when they cut my woods down, we had coyote and foxes and owls and deer, and they had nowhere to go. I'm only a mile from the school. So a lot of it is animals being displaced because these fucking developers coming in here with their houses for humans. Ugh.
And
that's the way it is.
And we feel fuck the humans.
Yes.
That's one of the most disturbing stories I've heard in a very long time. And
teaching the kids how to be goose Nazis. Really, when you think about it, it's like I can't even get my brain around the fact that this is the best way to abate permanently. Surely there is some humane trapping. Surely there is something. Surely this cannot be. This cannot be. They didn't sit in a boardroom and decide what's the smartest and, best soul cleansing way to get rid of these geese. I know. Let's zap them underneath their moms and not tell them. Like this was some kind of horrible nightmare.
That's so much worse than when I worked in one of those pods outside an elementary school, teaching out there. I don't think they were swallows. What's the bird that like dive bombs a little, like does
Those are swallows.
was
The
it a
ones that
swallow?
have those crazy where they move
Yes,
like this.
they're
Those are swallows.
So they were
sounds
building
wrong now
nests,
that we say it.
right? I know
I
it
don't
did
think it
sound
is a
wrong as I
swallow.
said it.
it's something with an S though.
They were building
It's not
nests.
a sparrow. It's a sparrow.
Were
It's
they
a sparrows.
sparrows' nests?
They're sparrows, not swallows.
They were
Sparrows.
building their nests, and the head of maintenance came out with a broom every day and knocked the nests down and knocked the eggs down and just because when you're walking, you don't want a bird dive bombing your head. And I'm like,
Okay, but who?
I don't want a
well,
janitor.
That's a cardinal. Number one, that's a cardinal. Yeah, but because they're really aggressive. How are these human jobs? How are these human jobs that we are going to go and systemically and frankly for money, we are going to venerate the task of violating animals? And don't come at me with your food because animals are delicious. And I'm a carnivore. I did watch that show, You Are What You Eat, and it makes me not want to eat any kind of animals anymore. But also, I still do eat them.
I have a
and will.
compromise for that.
What's that?
I won't cook it because pulling that tendon out of the chicken. Here's a good trick for pulling a tendon out of a chicken. I'm like,
the cooking it is not the problem.
for me it is.
The distribution method, the scaling,
Oh, that's
the
also a
scaling,
problem.
the scale of the problem and the distribution method is the problem. To eat an animal that you have cared for or raised up or have and treated humanely its whole life. I mean, we have other animals eat other animals.
Correct.
Okay, we are animals and we eat other animals. I'm okay with that. What other animals don't do is create cottage commerce industries to
Right.
generate fields and fields and fields of other animals that they can pluck out and eat at their leisure. They, catch and kill, eat what you kill. That's kind of a different thing.
We've been
digress.
to Buffalo Wild Wings before,
Oh,
right? So we sat and we ate, the four of us. We ate like a pile of wings, and then
9 birds.
we sit
Yeah,
back and
okay.
we look and we're like, never again. Like we honestly say, do you have any idea the damage we just did? And
The little bones, the little
grossed
plates
out.
of tables full of bones.
We-
It's would you actually think about what you're doing?
that's what we
Really
did.
Gross.
And we haven't been
It's
back
super
since.
Gross.
It was
Yeah.
awful. No, it was like awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah.
That's a really great way to end a show with murdering animals. So in lieu of that, I will ask you, what do you mean by how early is late? I know the phrase
Mhm.
15 minutes early is on time. On time is already late. What early is late? What are you asking?
I don't know where I fall on this, so it's a question. Again, I enact the tribunal.
Okay. They love to help.
Coach says practice begins. I'll pick an arbitrary time at 6 p.m. It doesn't. Practice begins at 6 p.m. I expect you there 15 minutes before to put on your pads, to get yourself situated, to get in the right mind space, to start warming up. Now it becomes, I expect you there 30 minutes before so that immediately at 6, so that you will do a little bit of stretching. So that when we first start stretching, your muscles are a little bit loose and warmed up just a little bit. We'll do a warm up, but we're not going to take a lot of time doing a big warm up. Okay, so I get all of that. And this is the case not just with one coach, with multiple coaches. In many cases, you're supposed to get there an hour before. In the theater, they call it a call time. You arrive at the theater at your call time, which is usually 2 hours before showtime. So they expect you. So it's like at a certain point, what time do you fucking want me? Like, why in the world? Like, are we training the athlete? Like, even for school begins at 8:10. Stupid time to begin school. 8:10. Not 8:15, not 8 o'clock. What happens? Why 10? Why? That's dumb. I don't like it. 8:10. So if you're not already in the classroom at 8 a.m., you are technically considered late because school begins at 8:10. Well, guess what? Doesn't school begin at 8 o'clock? If I'm supposed to be there at 8 o'clock?
Right.
Like, here's what I don't understand. What are you training me to do? Are you training me that early is on time and on time is
Yes.
late?
Yes.
Are you training me that I don't why wouldn't it the question becomes, do you want me to show up at the time you tell me, or do you want me to have a fantasy clock running? When you go to someone's house for a party, if you show up at the time they tell you, that's wrong. If you are a cherished guest at this party, you show up roughly 15 minutes after when they told you to show up. If you are a super close friend, a lot of times you
10
show
minutes
up
early, 15 minutes early to help set
before
up. Yeah.
to help.
Right.
So, and you don't know which one you are until you show up early and they're mad you're there because you're early. Because it's like, oh,
Well,
you thought I was a
You thought I was
a
closer
late
than-
friend.
yeah.
Or if you show up late and they had expected you early because they thought you were going to come. So it's like, why don't we just fucking say what it is?
Okay.
Like, what?
Dear listener, Amy has a very relevant point here.
Wait,
I know.
wait. Did you get that? Do we need to make that a drop?
I will make that a drop.
Woo! Never before, never again.
I will make that a drop. Her relevant point is you need to know. So you need to know what kind of friend you are, what kind of situation you're walking into. I really have limited and pared down my life in a way that if I'm hosting something, it's breaking a fast of some kind. And if you're late, fuck you. If you're early, we could break the fast sooner. If you're late, you might as well hit up some White Castle or Chick-fil-A
We're going
on
in.
your way
Yeah.
over. I'm out. You're out. We're done.
Charge!
Exactly. I will get that drop for you. I will make sure it appears all over this episode. Dear listener, thank you so much for turning us on once again this week. I hope we turned you on, if even in some small way. We love you. We appreciate you. You can find us not only at our Brilliant Observations Gmail address, but on Instagram at Listen Brilliant, or Facebook or TikTok at Brilliant Observations, Brill Up Squad. Come find us. We are worth it. And we know that you are too. So come hang with us.
Bye!
You went the other direction. Amy has a very relevant point here.